think we're good.
Make sure. Yes, here we go.
Love that. Okay, so first let me introduce myself a little bit more. So like I said, my name is Blake Kuzma. I am the recruiter for the College of Fine Arts. But one thing that you may or may not know about me is that I was also a student here at Western. I graduated in December of 2018. I was a member of our College of Arts and Sciences here. And so I'm very fresh. I'm a very fresh alumni. So student life was not that long ago for me. So if you have any questions about student life or like what life is like here on campus, please feel free to ask, because it's not like I went here 20 years ago. I literally was a student like 2 semesters ago. So there's that. But all of these pictures kind of represent all the different things that I did on campus while I was a student. I was a student ambassador, which was like the tour guides on campus. If you ever come visit us, then you're definitely going to meet a couple of the student ambassadors. I also was an orientation student leader, so I helped students sign up for classes for their first semesters here at Western, which was super special and fun. Then I also was a fall welcome ambassador, and that basically means that I was assigned a group of students to kind of walk through their first week of college at the university, and that was a lot of fun. And then of course I have my graduation picture up there because yes, graduation was awesome. Many a tear was shed. But the point of all of this is to say that I have a lot of passion for my alma mater is a huge understatement. I love Western and I love the fine arts, and I want you to love them as much as I love them as well. So with that, let's get into the good stuff. So the College of Fine Arts, this is kind of like our brand, who we are. If you see this kind of imagery anywhere on any kind of pamphlet, it definitely has something to do with us. Our College of Fine Arts is made up of 4 different departments, and I'm actually going to throw out my first poll question before I get rolling here to kind of figure out what you guys are interested in the most. Let's see if I can figure out a way to do that. Ha, I think I've got it. So I want to know, what department are you guys the most interested in? Is it art? Is it dance? Is it music? Theater, or are you interested in all of them? I do believe this is also a multiple choice poll, so you can pick more than one if you have more than one interest. So we've got theater in all of them so far. Love that, absolutely. I'll be going through all of them anyway, so don't feel like it's going to, you're not gonna miss out if you don't pick art or you don't pick dance, but I'll be going through all of them, but definitely I wanna know what you guys are into. Yes, all my theater troupe is alive and well out there. Love that. Absolutely. So I'm gonna kind of leave that up there so you guys can kind of do your thing, maybe. Or I'll give you 10 more seconds. How about that? All right, so it looks like tonight we have mostly people interested in theater, and that's really, really awesome because our theater program is kind of amazing. So there's that. So thank you guys for sharing. So yeah, so with that, as you may or may not have noticed or guessed, our College of Fine Arts contains our School of Music, our Gwen Frostig School of Art, our Department of Dance, and our Department of Theater, all of which are amazing programs, and I'll go over them all. I'll spend a little bit of time going in depth on theater since that's what our audience seems to be most interested in. But as always, if you have extra questions about the different departments, throw them in that Q&A. So first off, we're going to start with our School of Music. So for those of you who don't know, we were established as a university in 1903. And the School of Music was established in 1905. So for those math majors out there, that means that the music is the second thing that we started teaching after we finished, or not finished, after we started teaching education, teaching teachers how to teach. So then we started teaching people how to do music. So it's the second thing that we've been doing for the longest. So that's really cool. Our faculty ratio is 1:12, which is really good. That's better than most high school courses. And then the average faculty to student ratio for the whole university is 1:17. So that's also pretty good. We have 125 openings every year in the School of Music for both vocal and instrumental. All of those positions do require an audition. And we also bring in a ton of guest artists for music. They often stay with us for extended periods of time. doing lessons and classes, and sometimes even putting shows together for our students to perform in. So, and that's really common with a lot of our departments. They'll invite guests on campus, and they'll stay for a little bit and work with our students, which is a really cool opportunity for our students to kind of get that networking opportunity, as well as getting that experience under their belt as well. Some of our popular majors that we have as a part of the School of Music is going to be music therapy, music education, composition, and jazz studies. I will say this, if you are looking to study jazz in the state of Michigan, there's no better place to do it than here at Western Michigan University. Our jazz professors are rock stars in their own right. We have a stellar team that is just absolutely phenomenal. All of our professors are still out there and creating and doing what they love, and also teaching our students how to do what they love as well, which is really, really cool. So there's our School of Music. Next, we have our Frostick School of Art. The Gwen Frostick School of Art is home to 3 galleries, one of which is entirely devoted to student work. There will never be anything but student work in that space, and that's really cool. And then, of course, we have our 2 professional galleries, which are also run entirely by students. So students get experience in putting on exhibitions, handling expensive artwork, hanging expensive artwork, and they get that experience by working in the galleries. And the galleries actually enjoy hiring first-year students, like right off the bat, because they want them around for a really long time and getting better at what they could potentially be doing as a job. So there is that. We are home to 6 different computer labs, and that they have a variety of different kinds of software, which allows us to kind of create whatever we need to, whether that's Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, all of those different things. We kind of have a wide variety. So we have a lot of different computer labs as well. Some of our popular majors are going to be art education. We have product design, which is a fairly new program. And a lot of people kind of get confused that it gets tossed in with our art school. It's basically, I like to call it the inventing major. Essentially, it's a beautiful little marriage of our art classes, our business classes, and our engineering classes. So for those art students who love to sketch, but also are really good at math and science and love to tinker and put things together and take them apart, product design might be a really great thing for you to check out. We have an amazing, amazing facility, and that goes for all of our art spaces. I highly recommend, if you're interested in studying art here at Western, that you come and tour with us, because our facilities really speak for themselves. We also have ceramics, metals and jewelry, print media, and sculpture. I will say that we are home to the largest kiln in Michigan, and we are also home to the largest darkroom in Michigan. So again, our facilities are absolutely incredible. And if you're interested in any of those things, you really need to come see us. I do a lot of the art tours myself, actually. So if after this you miss me so much and you just want to see my face again, you can schedule a tour with the Fine Arts and come and see me, and I'll tour you around. It'll be a great time. Next, we have our Department of Dance. So one big thing that the dance school really is proud of is that they are a trifocal program, which means that we teach 3 different types of dance, and we put equal amounts of love, attention, and money into these 3 programs. With a lot of other dance schools, you're going to find that they favor one type of dance over the other, spending more time or spending more money and resources on one type of dance. Sometimes it's modern, sometimes it's ballet, but that's not what we do here. We teach 3 types of dance: ballet, jazz, and modern, and we put all of our equal money, resources, and time into all 3, and we teach them all to the highest level possible. So you're not going to have to worry about coming here to study jazz and then there's only 1 class that they offer in jazz, which would be ridiculous. But so you don't have to worry about that with us. They also are home to Orchesis Dance Company, which is a entirely student-run dance company. And you're basically inducted into Orchesis right when you join the dance department. And they put on their own showcase at the end of every year that is entirely run by students. So they choreograph the dances, they cast the dances, they do the costumes, they do the lighting, they do the sound for all of their own shows. The professors don't have anything to do with this. This is all students. and it's the best of the best of the dance students and their entire classes really at the end of the year. And that's a really cool show to see. And I highly recommend seeing one if you can. They also do a really cool fundraiser called Dancing with the WMU KZU Stars, and that's actually coming up here relatively soon. It's basically what it sounds like. It's a competition, and we take a local Kalamazoo celebrity and we pair them up with one of our dance students. And there's competition and there's money involved, and then there's a winner crowned. And what's really beautiful about this whole thing is not only does the community and our dance students come together in this one really fun night, but they're also, all the money that is kind of raised during this competition is then given back to our students in the form of scholarships. So it's a really fun night, and I highly recommend checking it out. But that's our Department of Dance. Then our Department of Theater. All right, listen up, theater kids, it's your time. So our faculty ratio for our Department of Theater is 1:15. We have 10 main stage productions annually, which when you think about it is kind of crazy. In the university, there's only about 8 months of school. And so we cram 10 full stage productions into those 10 months, which isn't a full month devoted to each production. So that's 10 different rehearsals, 10 different sets, 10 different castings, all crammed into 8 months of school. So theater kids are busy all the time. Definitely get an agenda or a planner or something. Highly recommend. We have 3 different theaters, which helps with that crazy schedule. We have the largest black box theater in Michigan. This is another really cool space to tour if you're interested in coming to see us. I highly recommend. And some of our popular majors are going to be acting, music theater performance, stage management, and theater studies. So there's our lovely theater department. So there. Now that we've kind of got a quick little overview, I'm going to go over some really frequently asked questions that I get about the College of Fine Arts, about the audition process, about the admissions process, and kind of what we do and who we are. So let's hit them. So first and foremost, how do I apply? This is one that I get quite a bit, and I wanted you to see this for yourself. So I'm going to try and get out of this so I can show you the actual screen, maybe. Exit. Look at me go, I'm getting better. Okay, so this is the homepage for our application for the general admissions application. You're gonna wanna do this one first, because for our fine arts students, you have 2 applications. So first you're gonna fill out this one. This first one is gonna basically get you admitted to WMU as a whole, and that's very important. So you're gonna wanna fill that one out. For my seniors, you're going to want to have that done by November 15th for the maximum scholarship consideration that you can get. Very important. And that website is going to be wmich.edu/apply. And basically, you just scroll down. And for our first year students, it's very clear. You start or check on your WMU application. For transfer students, other undergraduates, it's very, very clear. So yeah, just check out that website and it'll walk you through what you need to do. Second, you then need to apply to your department. So I'm going to take you to that page now. Once you've completed your general admissions application, you then need to head over to our lovely website for the fine arts, and you're going to go and you're going to click on your department. So let's do Department of Theater just for funsies. So it then lays out for you kind of what you need to do. The big thing about these applications is that it's going to make you sign up for an audition day. And that's very important that you don't miss that. I've had a lot of students who have missed this step, and it's a very important one. And so when they get admitted into WMU and they come to WMU and they're like, yay, I'm an art student, or yay, I'm a theater student. And we're like, no, you're not. You never came to an audition. We haven't seen a portfolio from you. We don't know who you are. So this part is very important, and it can really come back to bite you in the butt if you don't complete it. It sometimes can add on a lot of time to your stay with us, and we don't want you spending any extra money that you don't need to spend with us. So make sure you fill out this application. Very, very important. Next, So the next thing that I'm going to discuss is when do I apply? So this is going to be obviously November 15th for that general admissions to get that maximum scholarship consideration because we need that money. But then for your arts applications, typically it's going to be 2 weeks before your auditions, and that's going to change depending on what department that you're auditioning for. On that page that I just showed you, which has the applications for all of your different programs, if you continue to scroll down, okay, so yeah, if you go to wmich.edu fine arts/admission, and this is where you're gonna go look for your application. If you scroll down, you have all of the audition dates. Look at that, so nice. So these are gonna all be the correct dates for these auditions, so that those are the ones that you're gonna sign up for. So 2 weeks before these, whatever date that it is that you pick to come audition with us, is when you're gonna want all of that application submitted. It's just a really easy way to kind of get the two of them aligned, and don't wait until the last minute, the night before your audition, to finally submit this paperwork. That's gonna make things crazy on your end and ours. So 2 weeks before, pretty good thing to stick by. Next, how much does it cost? So this one's for my parents and my students that are concerned about that bill that comes at the end of the semester. So for a typical Michigan resident that is not a fine arts student, it's going to be around $22,377 for the year. For our fine arts students, we have something that is called differential tuition. And what differential tuition means, essentially it means that you are going to pay a little bit more because we're going to give you a lot of really cool things. And we're very open about what that money goes back to. And so, for example, our differential tuition in fine arts goes back to things like SIP trips. So that's kind of like, think of study abroad, but within the United States, where we'll take you to New York, or maybe we'll take you to Chicago, and all you have to pay for is your food. And you're going to be attending classes with these master dancers or with these amazing artists and touring their workspaces, and all you have to worry about is your food. That's all you have to worry about. And that's what helps, differential tuition helps pay for those. It also comes back to our students in forms of scholarships a lot of times. And then we also have our lovely guest artists that we have to invite on campus. Obviously, we have to take care of them as well. So that is also going to be where some of that money is going to go to. But for a breakdown of your differential tuition and just exactly how much more is it going to be, so you can go to this lovely website. It's part of the registrar's office. It's wmich.edu/registrar/tuition-semester-fine arts, which is a mouthful. But so this really breaks down what the differential tuition looks like for our flat rate of 15 credits. So instead of about 6,000 for our non-fine arts students, our fine arts students are going to pay about 7,000. So it's about $1,000 more as a fine arts student here on campus. And that obviously it's a little higher for our out of state, which is down here at the bottom. Yeah, that's kind of how that works. Good deal. So there's that. Then scholarships, obviously very important. Another thing that can kind of help you out when you're applying and going through all these different fees, and you're probably like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to pull out my hair. This is so stressful. This is so much money. We have our own scholarships as well. It's important to remember that we have our own scholarships because obviously general admissions has a ton of amazing scholarships, and you definitely need to apply for those as well. But the fine arts also has our own scholarships, and they're, for whatever reason, sometimes not as well known. So I encourage you to go to this webpage, and you'll notice that it has a name at the top here and the criteria for the scholarship. And then you'll notice that they rotate what kind of students that they cater to. So these are our donors who basically are making sure that our students have a chance to be able to study the arts, no matter what it is, where they come from, what they did in high school. They want to make sure that, you know, you're able to study what you want to do. And then if you go all the way down to the bottom, there's even more departmental scholarships. So not just these ones that are from our lovely donors, hashtag Giving Day, that's also today. But we also have like as specific as departmental ones. And we also have even sometimes specific majors that we have scholarships for. So definitely check out this page. It's got a lot of good money just waiting for you to reach out and grab it. Very important. So there's that. And then what happens if I don't make it to or through auditions? So if it's a question of, I don't know if I can physically make it to the place where you need me to be on the date that I signed up for, either because of car troubles or something happened with my family, whatever it is, let us know ahead of time and we'll work with you to kind of help you out. Maybe we can meet you halfway, maybe we can do something online, whatever it is that it may be. We'll work with you to try and figure it out. If it's a question of, I tried, I auditioned, and I didn't make it, it didn't go well, I didn't have a great day, I was sick, whatever it may be, my tip is always to come to Western anyway. So once you get to Western, you're going to have access to a lot of different resources that are going to enable you to be better maybe for that next round of auditions. So you'll have access to things like the beginner intro classes to all of our arts, whether it's dance, art, theater, or music. You have access to those beginner classes. So you can put yourself in some music classes or in some art classes and continue to better yourself through those courses. You can maybe find the professors or the advisors that maybe were in the room with you when they audition and, you know, say, hey, if you remember my audition, what was wrong? What could I do better? What do I need to improve on? And you'll have access to all these different resources that are a part of Western that you are now also a part of that you didn't have access to before. So definitely come to Western anyway, and then audition next year. And then we've had people get in before. We've had people get on their third round of auditions. So it is possible. Don't think that it's one and done and I will never, ever, never be able to study arts at Western. Not true. And maybe it's something as simple that you just needed more time or you just needed to better yourself a little bit more to be able to practice your art on that level. So don't give up. It is still very possible. Can I join the fill in the blank if I'm not in the college? So I get this question a lot. A lot of people sometimes decide, you know what, I don't think an arts degree is for me. That's okay, but I still want to keep art in my life in some way, shape, or form. And you can stay involved with the Fine Arts College in many different ways without being a part of it, actually. So we have our Bronco Marching Band, which is our largest registered student organization on campus. It has 300 members. It accepts anybody and everybody. It doesn't matter what college you're from. We also have 9 different choirs on campus that you can choose to be a part of. Everything from we meet on campus and practice once a week. We maybe perform once a year, to we have our higher level choirs that, you know, we travel, we get on a bus, we tour, we record. This is what we do, and everything in between. We also have open auditions for all of our theater shows. So if you are interested in maybe being an extra, you know, you don't need to be the star, or maybe you do want to be the star, come and audition. And if you earn that spot, no one's going to be able to take that from you. And then, of course, we also have our dance team that's a part of our athletics department that they do a great job at football games and at basketball games. They're also open auditions. So you just have to go audition for them and you can be a part of their team if you make it. So there's that. This is my favorite question. So what can I do with a fine arts degree? As the recruiter for the College of Fine Arts, I get this question a lot. I get it from parents who are kind of looking down their nose at me like, what are you trying to sell my child into? You know, what what is my child going to do with an arts degree? Are they going to be starving and living in my house until they're 30 years old? Like, what are they going to be able to do with this? And it's my favorite question because I have a good answer to it. So up on your lovely screen, I have the top 3 competencies that employers are looking for in their future employees. And so first and foremost, we have critical thinking and problem solving. I don't know if any of you have realized this, but life is a giant problem that you are constantly working to solve. And that especially comes clear in college when you have to learn how to manage your time, you have to learn how to manage your money, you have to learn how to manage yourself in a professional manner. So kind of by coming to college and coming across those different situations of, I really want to do this, but I don't know if I have enough money or time to do it. What do I do? And that involves critical thinking and problem solving, as do all of your assignments and all of the different situations that you can run into on campus. So check, we got that one. 2, teamwork and collaboration. I know of nothing in the arts world that is done that is done successfully by one person and one person alone. Even if there is a one-man theater show, there are 30 different people backstage who made sure that that one person on stage looks good. So nothing in the arts world is done well alone. We have to work with all sorts of different types of people, and it's not just other arts people that our arts kids work with. They have to work with business people, they have to work with engineers, they have to work with people who may or may not think like them. So teamwork and collaboration is kind of a very natural part of the arts process, and that's very evident in not only our students, but in the culture that we create at Western as well. So check. There's number 2. And then finally, professionalism and work ethic. I don't know what it is about art students, but when they come to school to study art, they understand very well that in order for them to achieve their dream of doing art professionally, they have to work and hustle and push, and those kids don't know how to stop. Our students have this passion and this fire that just drives them to get through the long days of rehearsals, to be in the studios until 2 in the morning. They are fueled by passion, so they don't really know what it means to stop. They don't really know what it means to slow down. They have this insane work ethic because they understand very well that if they stop and if they slack off, they're gonna get run over by somebody who's working harder than them. And that's just the way that our world works. And they understand that very well. So work ethic is never an issue with arts kids. And then professionalism, they also understand that if they work that hard and they can't present themselves in a professional manner, that all of that hard work that they just did was absolutely for nothing, because no one will take them seriously if they can't present themselves in a professional manner. So they're also some of the most well-spoken, well-presented kids that I know because they understand that part of their lives as well. So look at that, check, 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 all 3. And notice that none of them are a business degree or an engineering degree. You don't need those to be successful in life. But what you do need is these top 3 competencies. And so my answer to what can I do with a fine arts degree is whatever the heck you want. Because by the time that you graduate with your fine arts degree, you're gonna have all of the skills that you need to be successful at whatever it is that you wanna do. Whether that is something in the arts, but maybe not what you studied, or maybe it is something completely and totally different. Point being, you have all the tools that you need, and you have that passion, that work ethic, that professionalism, teamwork, and critical thinking skills that you're gonna need to do whatever it is you want. Mom and dad, don't stress. Your arts kids are gonna be amazing in the real world. Don't you worry. And we'll make sure that they learn all of these skills, especially with us. So then, where can I find out more? So these 2 websites are going to be like your BFFs. They're great resources to find out more about. Maybe you want to come visit us after all of this, and or maybe you want to just kind of get some more information about the places that we have, the scholarships or the curriculum, things like that. But if you're really interested in what a day in the life of a student looks like, I highly recommend you give one of our social media pages a follow. All of them are going to be WMU Fine Arts. You just type that into the search bar and it should pop up. We do takeovers all the time for our students, our faculty. You'll see me on there sometimes because I go all over. But it's a really great peek into the world of Western and what we do in our Fine Arts College. So I highly recommend that you check those out. And then my favorite part of this presentation, ask me 5 questions. So now I'm gonna open up that lovely little Q&A that we have, and I'm gonna look at some of those questions and we're gonna go through them and we're going to see if we can answer them. Let's do that. Bring this over here. Let me see. So if you have any questions at all, it could be about my experience here at Western, it could be about something during my presentation, anything at all. And I can also go over some more really common questions that I get asked as well. But yeah, feel free to shoot me some questions. Yay, my first question. How many applicants do you have for stage management and how many do you accept? Great question. So our theater programs are always very competitive. And for stage management, it's particularly competitive. We only accept, I want to say, 4 to 5, maybe 6, depending on how many people graduated that year. But we get a pretty decent handful of applicants. I wouldn't say more than 50, but it's up there. But don't let that scare you. Our stage management program is absolutely phenomenal, and it's one of the best degrees for one of the most, it's a bargain. Like, you cannot find a degree that's that amazing for that low of a price. I have a couple friends who are in stage management and they absolutely love it here. They couldn't imagine being anywhere else. But yeah, so still definitely come in and audition for us. We would love, love, love to see you. All right, my next question, how many students are accepted into the music therapy program? So that's one that kind of goes, it depends. I would say that the numbers never really go above, it fluctuates between 20 and 30 every year. It depends on how many people we have graduate, and that's kind of like a common theme with like how many people get accepted, how many people get accepted. It depends. We may have our senior class has a low number of graduates, and maybe that's because we lost a couple people along the way. And so there aren't as many spots because we had an insane sophomore class come in and they took up a lot of spots. So it really depends. The numbers kind of fluctuate depending on the year. But it's always a good idea, especially for my music students, to kind of reach out and talk to the professors or advisors who are all available. All of their information is actually available on our website. So if you go to our directory, and you can kind of either get a lesson if you're interested in vocal or instrumental, try and scheduling some lessons with our professors to kind of get yourself in front of them. And so when it comes time to audition for music therapy or composition or whatever it is that you're interested in studying, they know who you are and they know what your strengths and weaknesses are already. And that will immensely help you kind of stand out from the crowd, because not only have you already met potentially the person that's going to be overseeing your audition, but you'll also kind of be able to work on what they think you need to work on, which is huge. So there's that. Good questions, guys. Keep them rolling. We're on a roll, or a croissant, whatever works. That was a really bad red pun. That was really bad. I'm sorry. That was shameful. All right. Any other ones? Come on. Where's my theater students? Oh, well, stage management, but Come on. I know you guys got lots of good questions for me. It could be about my experience too as a student. I have some really good roommate stories if you want to hear them. Mm-hmm. Any questions about dining or housing or anything like that? Those can also be asked. Like I said, student life was not very long ago for me. It was very, very recent. So really I can answer just about any question that you might have. If you want to know who your advisor is, you can ask me that too. They're great people. We have some really great advisors over at the College of Fine Arts. Really, really amazing people. Another question. Are there online classes for fine arts? So the short answer is yes, but they are few and far between. A lot of our classes are going to require you to be in a physical space where you can create art. And so it's kind of difficult to translate that to an online class. But that's definitely a great question for our advisor, Nick. Nick Gauthier. He is an amazing guy. His information is also on our website. If you're interested in taking an online art class, you could potentially do that. If you're if you want to dual enrollment, that's a possibility. But the best art classes, I always say, are the ones that are in person. Another question, love it. What is the audition process like? That's a really great question. So having never been through an audition process myself, I have watched a couple and they're fairly different depending on what kind of audition you're doing. So for example, the dance auditions are going to be a lot like taking a lesson. They're going to audition you in all three things. So essentially they'll teach you a really quick dance, and you'll do the dance and then you'll move on to the next type of dance, and then they'll teach you a dance and you do the dance and then they move on. So it's fairly fast paced. For a lot of them, they try and separate the students and the parents, so it's just you're just kind of focusing on you yourself and what you're doing at the point. So like mom's not trying to take video in the background. We love a supportive parent, but sometimes that can make things a little bit more stressful for our students. So we do try and separate them when auditions are going on. For theater, it's kind of similar. We ask you to prepare a monologue, and if you are interested in singing, we also ask you to prepare for that. Each page or each department actually has on their webpage a little section that it talks about auditions, and it gives you a lovely little list about what you are supposed to bring. So I can actually look that up really fast. It's going to be edu/fine arts auditions. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. So like, for example, let's do theater again, because they've been good at that. So we also attend we do a lot of different out-of-state auditions as well. So if you're worried about physically getting to campus, you may have an offsite that's closer to you that may be easier to get to. We do unifieds in Chicago. We also do a series of different Illinois off-campus auditions. So that's kind of handy. But yeah, the application is there. Music has a really neat one where they actually have a video of a student going through the audition process. So I highly recommend you check that one out. And they are really good about kind of laying out what you're going to need for each instrument that you're going to be using. So that's really, really handy. All right, guys, keep them coming. Are we almost out of time? Oh no, sad. Okay, so if you have any last minute burning questions, please throw them in. I'd love to answer any last minute ones. I'll give you like another minute. If you have any burning desires, burning queries, throw them in. And of course, if you think of a question later, you can always reach out to me. I should give you guys my info. So if you want to talk to me, if you want to reach out to me, the best way to do that is going to be via my email. And so I'm the recruiter of fine arts. So my email is going to be my name actually. So it's Blake, BLAKE .E.KUZMA at WMICH, so WMICH.edu. And if you come up with any questions after this webinar and you're like, crap, I should have asked Blake while she was there on my screen, then you can just shoot me an email and I will definitely reach out to you and answer any questions that you may have, or get you connected to the right people if you're interested in like, hey, I want to do a lesson like you mentioned, or I really want to sit through a class, or whatever it is that you may want to do. Reach out to me and we'll make it happen. There's that. But yeah, it looks like we don't have any more questions. So I'm really glad that you guys came to join me for my webinar. I had a lot of fun. This was my first webinar ever. So congrats for that. We made it. We are out here thriving. But thank you guys for coming. Hopefully you'll keep attending these webinars. We do Western Wednesdays. Our next one is about education, I believe. Education and human development, I believe, is up next. Sure, yeah. They're going to do one eventually, either way. But keep tuning into these webinars. They're an amazing source of information, no matter what you want to study. So yeah, keep tuning in. We love having you guys here. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I'll see you guys hopefully soon. Bye.